Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
That student actually requested to go by a particular name. And so, like most teachers, when there's a request, I simply complied.
Now at noon, we're hearing from the teacher who lost her job after using a student's preferred name, why she still wants to teach in the district. Plus.
And then you get up to 105 miles an hour. I mean, it's stupid.
So-called super speeders are getting arrested daily, but are the arrests making a difference? Within the last hour, State Attorney Monique Worrell spoke about the latest super speeder arrest, a teenager accused of weaving in and out of traffic, hitting a tree and leaving a person dead. News 6's Catherine Silver joins us live now from Orange County. And Catherine, the state attorney had a lot to say about the new super speeder laws and their impacts on families.
Well, Julie, we have seen so many arrests across Central Florida since that super speeder law took effect. In fact, these are two new reports of two drivers who were just booked in Orange County. Deputies say both of them were clocked going over 100 miles an hour, one on the Turnpike and the other here on the 408. Now, the state attorney says she chose this location to talk to us today because back in 2021, a Porsche going 150 miles an hour on the 408 was responsible for a deadly crash. And just this month, that driver was convicted and is facing a minimum of 9 years in prison. It shows you just how big of a problem speeding has been even before this new law took effect. Monique Worrell told us last year there were over 30 deaths in Orange and Osceola County, and in many of those cases, the drivers were going dangerously fast.
These are not just numbers. These are 30 real families who now face empty seats at dinner tables, missed birthdays, and futures stolen in seconds by the poor choices made by reckless drivers.
Now, we've been digging into the numbers as well to see just how many so-called super speeders have been arrested since July 1st. I'll share with you what we're learning from Florida Highway Patrol when I see you at 4 o'clock. For now, I'm live in Orange County. Catherine Silver, News 6.
Catherine, thank you. Turning to your weather now at 12:02. Let's take a live look out from our Daytona Beach camera. Looking so nice out there. A lot of folks enjoying some of the last few days of summer vacation. Chief meteorologist Candace Campos is here. And Candace, those storms really got going late the last few nights.
Yes, and the same setup that we've had for the past 2 days. We had that brief tornado on Monday. We had hail reports, gusty winds, crazy amount of lightning yesterday. The same setup is expected for today. Taking a live look outside, it's all the calm before the storms. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of time for us to heat up already in the upper 80s to low 90s, 89 in Orlando and Sanford, even along the coastline in the upper 80s. And just like yesterday, this is exactly what we were tracking yesterday around noon. Scattered showers and thunderstorms kind of lining up right along kind of the Gulf Coast counties there in and around Homosassa Springs, Denellis, Denellet, I should say, as well as Williston. Now we're going to continue to watch those scattered storms slowly move their way in along the West Coast sea breeze. That's where they'll meet up with the East Coast sea breeze, and where they line up once again this afternoon is where we will have the decent chance for some heavy rain, a lot of lightning, as well as the flooding threat with some of those slow-moving torrential downpours. We'll have more details on the timing of today's rain and a look at the busy tropics coming up in just a few minutes.
Candace, thank you. Breaking news now out of Georgia. Fort Stewart is under lockdown due to an active shooter situation. The base was locked down just after 11 o'clock this morning. The fort's Facebook page says casualties have been reported and the situation is ongoing. Officials are telling all personnel on base to stay inside and close and lock all windows and doors. Fort Stewart is about 20 miles southwest of Savannah and is the largest Army post east of the Mississippi. Earlier this year, protests broke out in Brevard County after a teacher lost her job over using a student's preferred name. This afternoon, we're hearing from that teacher. She has been cleared to keep her license, but as News 6's Mark Lehman shows us, her district doesn't want her back.
Melissa Calhoun says she was relieved to reach a settlement with the state, which allows her to keep her teaching certificate. Her former superintendent, however, has made it clear that her return to the classroom won't be in Brevard County, at least not this year.
I unfortunately didn't review that policy.
Former Satellite High School teacher Melissa Calhoun is sharing her side of the story days after reaching a settlement with the Florida Department of Education, the state allowing her to return to teaching on a 1-year probation after she was ousted for using a student's chosen name without parental permission.
That student actually requested to go by a particular name. And so, like most teachers, when there's a request, I simply complied.
Calhoun says she had known the student for years and her actions weren't political, her dismissal sparking protests outside the Brevard County School Board earlier this year.
There wasn't any intention to subvert this parent's wishes. This happened out of habit and frankly was an unfortunate oversight on my part.
Brevard superintendent, however, says it was not a case of confusion, and at this point, the district will not rehire her. In a statement, Dr. Mark Rendell said in part, while the state has chosen to allow this individual to retain their certification under probation, I believe it is appropriate that the full term of that probation be completed before any consideration of employment. Calhoun says it was disheartening to hear those words from the superintendent, but she's focused on teaching elsewhere. On top of the 1-year probation, Calhoun's settlement includes a letter of reprimand, a $750 fee, and she must also take a college-level ethics course. Mark Lehman, News 6.
The Florida Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, is back in Orange County today. It's looking through records related to the county's spending. The audit, which began Tuesday, covers information dating back to 2019. The state is looking at everything from contracting to personnel salaries and environmental-related programs. The team is expected to be on site for the next few days. A report is expected later this year. While auditors were in town combing through county records, Orange County commissioners approved an addendum to an ICE agreement. That addendum directs county corrections officers to transport detainees to ICE-approved facilities. That approval came amid backlash from community advocates. However, amid a threat of removal from office, county leaders approved the deal. After nearly 5 months in space, NASA and SpaceX's Crew 10 is set to undock from the International Space Station in just under 2 hours. The crew includes 2 NASA astronauts, an astronaut from Japan, and a Russian cosmonaut. They launched from the Space Coast back in March. The crew gave a farewell address yesterday after months of conducting experiments for future space exploration. The undocking is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon, and we will have the latest for you on ClickOrlando.com. Happening in just over an hour, Apopka is set to get an update on improving a busy traffic situation on a busy road. You can see there is that road we're talking about. It can be a big headache for drivers heading to work or just out running errands. News 6's Angie Casada is looking at what could be added to improve the drive.
Well, if you've sat in traffic heading to Apopka, then you know how important this project is. This road right behind me has been busy all morning, and city leaders saying that they're looking to expand Ocoee-Apopka Road to 4 lanes. It's to keep up with growth and to keep drivers moving. This is the daily reality for thousands of commuters who rely on Ocoee-Apopka Road.
The additional lanes would definitely help with traffic, especially since more people are going to be coming in.
The road is a major connector between Apopka, Ocoee, and Winter Garden, but right now it's only 2 lanes.
4 lane means progression for this community. I believe it's going to bring business to this community. As a business person, I have been praying for transformation, not just in the physical part of it, of the road, but when it comes to business, and I think this is an answer to my cry,
Tonight, city leaders are set to get an update on the project, which not only includes adding lanes for traffic, but also bike lanes, sidewalks, and other safety improvements. The final design is expected by August 2026. Meaning relief may still be a few years away.
It symbolizes a bright future, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
So what's next? Right now, this project is still in the design phase. We'll be tracking when funding and construction will get the green light. And of course, we'll bring you those updates not only on ClickOrlando.com, but on air as well. Reporting in Apopka, Angie Casada, News 6.
Right now, the Lake Mary Little League baseball team is one step closer to the World Series. This is video from their game Sunday. They crushed South Carolina 14-0 to punch their ticket to the regional championship game. They are currently taking on the team from South Carolina, so same team. And in just hours, the girls softball team is playing in a win or go home situation. This is video from their game last night. They beat Connecticut 9-0 and will be taking on Washington today at 1 o'clock. If you want to get all the latest on the Little League World Series, just head to our website, clickorlando.com, and search for Lake Mary Little League. Heading back to school can be an exciting time, but it also comes with challenges for so many families. For one Orange County mom, it's about just getting her kids to the classroom. Coming up, News 6 anchor Ginger Gadsden shares that mom's story. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery.
It is back to school time, and for many families, that means new clothes, supplies, and a fresh start. But for one mom in Orange County, it's about something more basic, simply getting her kids to class each day. Her story shows how quickly life can spiral, even when a parent is doing all the right things. And it's a reality more than 8,000 students in Orange County Public Schools face every year. News 6 anchor Ginger Gadsden shows us how one mom is doing all she can for her kids.
This is our second time going through this.
For Kimberly Bravo, school mornings don't start with a drive to campus. Sometimes they start with a long walk or a phone call to her mom, hoping she has gas money.
I don't feel like I'm a mom to my full potential, you know, because I can't really be there for them.
She's been homeless for more than a month this time, moving between hotels, shelters, and sometimes even sleeping outside. She and her partner Solomon do what they can to provide for the kids. Their latest bout with homelessness started after she and Solomon lost their apartment. They were already living paycheck to paycheck. Then he lost his job and the rent went up.
It was just kind of like became overwhelming for me to pay. I ended up getting evicted.
Kimberly says this is the vicious cycle once you have an eviction on your record.
I feel like in Florida, once you have an eviction on your name, like you're considered a felon.
Every application for an apartment costs money they don't have.
And she's not alone. Last year, Orange County Public Schools identified almost 9,000 students as homeless, the most in Florida. More than 600 of them were living in cars, parks, or other places not meant for people to sleep.
For Kimberly, it's a constant juggling act, finding work close enough to walk to so she can still get her kids to school and back.
Everything that's closed is already being taken up by people who are residential here, you know?
And she knows her kids feel the weight of it all.
They sometimes even say that they'd rather be out there sleeping with us because they don't want us to go through it alone.
Still, she pushes forward for them.
Honestly, it's given us the strength to keep going.
In Orange County, Ginger Gadsden, News 6.
And since our interview, Kimberly and Solomon have been able to secure housing with the help of a local advocacy group. If you'd like to help families like Kimberly's, we have information on how to donate or volunteer on clickorlando.com. And be sure to watch our Back to School with News 6 special today. You can watch it live on News 6 at 3 o'clock or stream it on clickorlando.com and the News 6 Plus Smart TV app. Okay, look at that rain, that lightning. News 6's Matt Austin caught this video in downtown Orlando just after 6:30 last night. That rain was coming down. I know the lightning at my house was insane. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here. And with the later start to those showers and thunderstorms, Candace, they have been really intense the last few days.
Yeah, I mean, they have, all these storms have plenty of moisture and instability. And then you tack on that late start to the rain, you have so much heating. All that kind of adds that buoyancy, which is why those storms have been so intense over the past couple of days. And unfortunately, we're looking at another day where we're talking big time late day storms. Our coverage today about 60 to 70%. That U6 weather app you see there at the bottom of your screen is going to be really useful throughout the rest of the summer, as if you enable the notifications as well as your location, we'll be able to send you those updates when weather is threatening where you are, or maybe areas you're interested in, maybe where the kids are, or summer camps, things like that. But overall, it's still going to be another steamy day. It's already a hot day, feeling already like 100 degrees. And just like the summer months, we're tracking now several areas in the tropics. Now looking at those temperatures versus the feels like at this point in time, most of us are still in the upper 80s, about 89 in Kissimmee, same in DeLand. But notice those feels like temperatures in the small, more orange colors there. You can see it feels like 100 already in Titusville, 103 in New Smyrna, 101 degrees in the Villages. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Wednesday.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Our highs today back into those mid-90s, and then the rain and storms start rolling through. We'll still have some rain as late as about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. So I want to show you here. This is our future cast between 1, 2 o'clock. We'll start seeing some more scattered showers starting to meet up where the west coast sea breeze is at. And you can see by 3, 4 o'clock, I do feel like we're going to start filling in a lot of that, because not only like most days, we tend to just see the sea breezes. They come together, they develop, they maybe develop a few more scattered showers into the evening. But this latest setup, because there's so much instability, those outflow boundaries that these storms produce, that cool air that you feel before rainstorm approaches, sometimes also adds another quick lift that produces more rain and storms. So I do think we could see a lot more rain than what the latest futurecast is showing. Also, a lot of things to talk about is also in the tropics. We're watching Tropical Storm Dexter, as well as 2 other areas, both with a medium chance. So let's take you here. First look at Tropical Storm Dexter. Remains a tropical storm, remains out at sea, not going to be a big concern. One a little closer to home, right off the southeast coast of the U.S. It will be an area of low pressure that should develop later on today. Could become a tropical depression by the weekend as it drifts north and then out towards the northeast, possibly following in Dexter's footsteps. Could be roughing up our surf a little bit. That's the only real impacts for us locally. Then we have another tropical wave out over the farther eastern Atlantic. You can see it has a 60% chance of development in the next 7 days. This could become our next named storm. Most models do take that turn towards the north, which hopefully means it should stay out to sea. But besides those other two areas, we're watching another wave out there. Hasn't been highlighted yet by the National Hurricane Center. That one is one we'll be watching for and talking about for a bit. But there's also going to be a tropical wave that could bring us a little more rain this weekend. Once it moves into the Gulf, it will have the opportunity maybe to develop into something. But in the meantime, we're going to keep those rain chances still on the higher side come Saturday and Sunday, with a lot more the same as we officially go back to school on Monday. Julie.
Okay, Candace, thank you. A team up between a Disney-owned company and a major professional sports league. Coming up, find out who's part of the deal and the major stake that league gains in the Disney company. The NFL and ESPN are teaming up. The two have reached a new media rights deal. The non-binding agreement will give ESPN ownership and control of the NFL network and rights to distribute the Red Zone channel to cable and satellite operators. The league will get a 10% equity stake in the Disney-owned company. Under this agreement, ESPN would own and operate streaming rights to the NFL network. The NFL will continue to own and operate certain media properties, such as NFL Films. Take a break from those summer reruns and try out the all-new primetime schedule on News 6 Plus. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Go in depth as we track the tropics and answer your weather questions with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It is all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Here's a live look at Port Canaveral, looking so beautiful out there. You are watching News 6 at noon. We're back in 3 minutes.
All right, as we take you through the next couple of days, rain chances still up to about 60%, still dodging a little bit of rain, even as we head into the weekend. Possible additional tropical moisture could be at play. And look at that, as everyone head back to school, it looks like we're still going to be pretty much on the same weather setup until further notice.
Okay, switch over right now to the News 6 Plus streaming app or clickorlando.com to watch News 6 Extra. We hope you have a great day. Our next newscast is at 4.